I also understand that both his wife and his son have been in hospital, so he's running between hospitals and trying to move home, so he's got some difficulties. Can we accept those apologies? Thank you very much. I think before we proceed, it might be necessary for us to then elect a substitute chief whip for this particular session of our council. Can we have nominations from the floor for the election of a whip, please? MMC?
Speaker, can I propose Lillian?
Do you accept the nomination? Accepted, Speaker. Thank you. Are there any other proposals? Yes, Councillor.
Speaker, I'm lost. I know Councillor Kodisang was Lillian in this house.
I didn't hear that, Councillor. Sorry.
I'm saying I'm lost. I know Councillor Kodisang in this chamber. So who's Lillian in this house?
She's actually now Councillor Molekeng and not Councillor Kodisang anymore. Molekeng. Molekeng, yes. All right, then you're elected without competition. Thank you, Madam Acting Chief Whip. Do you want to take the seat in the front here? I think you should bring your nameplate with you to avoid further errors. Thank you very much. Ms. Chabalala, can we proceed?
Next item, official notices.
I have no official notices at this time. Thank you.
Next item, proposals of condolence or congratulations by the Speaker.
Thank you, Ms. Chabalala. I only have one condolences or notice of condolence to offer, and that is to the very same councillor, Councillor Molekeng, on the sad loss of her mother recently. Can I ask that we just stand and observe a minute's silence in respect? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please resume your seats. And then I have two congratulations to offer. Firstly, to Alderman Kuli Papers for his birthday on the 3rd of July. We hope you had a good day. And then to MMC Moketi Motsamai for his birthday on the 7th of July. Congratulations to both of you on achieving another year of life. Thank you. Mr. Blala?
Next item, proposals of condolence or congratulations by other members.
I'm going to start with Councillor Maimani here in the front.
My sincere condolences to the family of Councillor Molekeng for the passing of their mother. Scripture, Speaker, I just want to emphasize it in Sesotho. Malakia chapter 1 verse 3 to 4 ere le ha edoma ka le thuba ka ntse lona ba ha Molekeng modimo tla khutla a lokise masupi a senyehileng. Amen.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Brits.
Thanks, Speaker. I just want to congratulate our rugby teams, our senior rugby team, 7th rugby team, and under 20 rugby team are all world champions. I want to congratulate them.
Thank you, Councillor. Are there any more? Yes, Councillor Mariana, clear.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like to pass our condolences to the Ntsuba family of Ward 9 on the passing of Kolelwa Ntsuba after a freak accident on R59. I also want to pass my sincere condolences to Councillor Lillian Molekeng on the passing of her mother. And I want to congratulate our Minister for Home Affairs for cleaning up the Home Affairs. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Dickinson.
No, I was pointing, sorry, speak. I was pointing at her and you missed it.
Oh, I see. My apologies. Yes, thank you, Councillor Vianney.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I want to pass my sincere and heartfelt condolences to Councillor Lillian. So it's ntho tse mpe ha o sa re jwetsa ha mme a hlokahetse. Ska hlotse o etsa ntho jwalo. Now, let me also congratulate that lady over there, Mayor. Hey, you re dudisitse ka State of the Municipality address. That is somebody who understands extensively mosebetsi wa hae. We were talking about her, Councillor Mokhomong, when we were at the State of the Municipality address, that she has been doing exceptionally well. That speech, everything, she knows everything about this municipality. So, ngathaba ha re ka kenya raisinyana mo. So yeah, and I also want to pass my condolences. There's this other lady, an old lady that has passed on. This lady helped me when Councillor Ndebele knows what he did. Yeah, but yeah, that lady, she has passed on, Councillor Ndebele.
Thank you, Councillor. Yes, Alderman.
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the African National Congress for retaining Ward 35 in Emfuleni and congratulate Councillor Mohlamme, elected Councillor Emfuleni, Ward 35. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Anybody else? Any other hands?
Oh, I forgot to send my condolences to you as well. I don't know. I think Kapagin to one. Oh, no. There's that confusion. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. No, Khalibu. Khalibu. But we congratulate Councillor Maiman as well. The suit is very nice. So, yeah. Thank you.
Ms. Chabalala, I think we can move on, but before we do, can I just ask those councillors who have offered condolences or congratulations, please just fill in the form so that we capture them correctly for the minutes. Thank you very much. Ms. Chabalala?
Confirmation of minutes of previous meeting. Recommendation that the minutes of the 5th Council meeting held on 29 May 2025 be approved.
Any corrections that you want to make to these minutes, ladies and gentlemen? Can they be passed? Thank you, Mr. Rana.
That the minutes of the 5th Special Council meeting held on 25 June 2025 be approved.
Any objections? Any comments? Any amendments? Are we in agreement? Thank you, Mr. Rana.
That the minutes of the 6th Special Council meeting held on 26 June 2025 be approved.
Are we in agreement? Thank you very much, Mr. Rana.
That the minutes of the 7th Special Council meeting held on 30 June 2025 be approved.
Are we agreed? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Rana.
That the minutes of the 8th Special Council meeting held on 10 July 2025 be approved.
Are we in agreement? Thank you.
That the
Mr.
minutes
Rana.
of the 9th Special Council meeting held on 17 July 2025 be approved.
Are we agreed? Thank you very much. I think we should congratulate ourselves for passing the most number of minutes ever in this council chamber. Mr. Rana, please proceed.
Next item, questions of which notice has been given. There are none. Next item, motions or proposals deferred from previous meetings. There are none. Next item, the report of the Mayoral Committee.
Executive Mayor, would you like to address the council?
Thank you so much, Speaker. I think, Councillor Kwena has made my day, because normally my office or the officials in my office hardly ever get recognition from anybody. But, I'm very, very happy that he has given recognition to, I think you are referring to Ida Satike. So she is at the back over there, and Ida. The good work that, Mr. Speaker, that my office does get recognized also by members of council. So I appreciate the positive feedback. Speaker of Council, Alderman Alan McLachlan, Chief Whip, in absentia, Alderman Phil Pretorius, Alderman Miponi Modikeng, Alderman Corey Papers, members of the Mayoral Committee, fellow councillors, Municipal Manager Mr. Pomutso Magodi, heads of department, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Speaker, I wish to extend my heartfelt condolences to Councillor Lillian Mulakeng on the passing of her mother, Mayor Alina Mulakeng. The loss of a parent is a profound and life-altering sorrow, one that leaves an enduring void and reshapes the course of one's life in ways both seen and unseen. So it is with a heavy heart that I offer my deepest sympathies to you and your family during this difficult time, Councillor Lillian. Speaker, Midvaal continues to shine as a beacon of good governance. Midvaal recently received a certification of appreciation awarded for participating in the Municipal Innovation Maturity Index. Our approach has always been, and will continue to be, to solve challenges through innovation and creativity. Speaker, in June, the municipality successfully completed essential upgrades to the Rodin sewer pump station, a key component of our sewer management infrastructure. The Rodin pump station processes sewage from several areas, including Sikelo, Henley on Klip, Delsite, and parts of the Midvaal industrial areas. Recognizing the strategic importance of this facility, we found it essential to invest in its maintenance and upgrade, as it remains a critical asset to our municipality. Since the beginning of the year, we have undertaken the following improvements to the same facility: servicing the 5-ton DMAC cranes, repairing and installing variable speed drives, and refurbishing the unit breaker. Community members residing near the pump station also raised concerns regarding the persistent foul smells emanating from the station. To address these concerns, we installed an odor control system at the pump station. The odor control system is expected to eliminate the stench that has impacted nearby residents. Midvaal remains committed to the maintenance and upgrade of its infrastructure to enhance the quality of life for all of our residents. Speaker, Midvaal has taken a proactive measure to protect residents and guarantee that their tap water remains safe and drinkable. The municipality has invested over 1.2 million rand in the installation of an automated chlorine dosing system at the Meyerton reservoirs. The Meyerton water reservoir supplies water to over 80% of the Midvaal areas. This new system will add an extra layer of protection as a first line of defense against microbial contamination in the distribution system, reducing the risk of waterborne disease outbreaks such as cholera. This investment reaffirms Midvaal's commitment to providing safe drinking water and safeguarding the health and well-being of our residents. Speaker, I must say that this is not that the municipality undermines the water that we receive from rainwater, but it is also just to ensure we put measures in place that the water is indeed safe for drinking to our public. And I can safely commit to the members of the public in Midvaal to say that, yes, you can drink tap water. I drink it myself. My family drinks the tap water and it is 100% safe. Speaker, we also officially inaugurated the Midvaal Sports Council on the 22nd of July 2025. The establishment of the Midvaal Sports Council is a vote of confidence in the revitalization of sports in the municipality. The Sports Council will be tasked with overseeing, administrating, and fostering a wide range of sporting activities and programs within Midvaal. The launch of the Council builds on the foundation we've already laid through initiatives such as the Mayoral Sports Day, Walk with the Mayor, and our continued support of local teams through sport kits, donations, and funding for sports trips. Midvaal commits to integrating sport into our development plans, budgets, and strategic partnerships to nurture talent within the Midvaal area. Speaker, every year on the anniversary of Nelson Mandela's birth date, millions of global citizens honor his legacy by giving back to their communities. Mandela Day is observed to honor the former South African president's profound contributions to peace, freedom, and service. As part of the Mandela Day commemorations, we also extended acts of kindness and service across the region through impactful charitable initiatives. We began the day's activities at the Mayerton Library by offering soup to members of the homeless community, providing comfort and care to those that are in need. The second visit was to Kotulong Community Center in Ofa Estate Farms, where a donation was handed over to support the children's home and its ongoing efforts to provide safety and care for vulnerable children. We proceeded to Precious Place of Hope in Walkerville, where we joined hands to maintain the vegetable garden and presented a donation to further support the facility in its mission to uplift the community. The day concluded at Eagle Wings Shelter in Riversdale, where the municipality handed over a donation of knitted items. Speaker, during our visit to Eagle Wings Shelter, it became clear that the need of support was immense. In response, I reached out to our trusted partners, Harvest Fresh, Linker Meats, Midvaal Community Radio, and Eco Sand and Stone. We then visited the shelter as part of our monthly Spread the Love campaign, where we donated grocery packs. I'm proud to announce a new partner who has joined this important initiative called Palisa Pads. Palisa Pads generously donated reusable sanitary pads and toiletries to support the dignity and well-being of women and girls residing at the shelter. All these initiatives reflect Midvaal's continued commitment to being a caring and compassionate institution, directly honoring the values embodied by former President Nelson Mandela. Speaker, Midvaal has partnered with YAB, or YAB Skills Development Solutions, and Mayerton Engineering to offer a 12-month program in production technology, and this is QF level. This initiative forms part of our broader efforts to tackle youth unemployment and address skills shortages. This initiative is a build-on of the Buang Bacha and Youth Summit, which has brought many opportunities to young people in Midvaal. Most recent opportunities include the 50 youth who are enrolled in a one-year building and civil construction program. Another recent opportunity is the training in cell phone repair for IR and ICT, which 60 young people have successfully completed. The Mayoral Student Financial Aid Program, now in its second year, has supported over 60 students with funding. The Learnership Program in Production Technology is another opportunity we are proud to bring to the youth of Midvaal. Applications for the 12-month learnership close on the 1st of August 2025, which is tomorrow. I call on all councillors to actively encourage young people in their wards to take advantage of this opportunity and apply. And I must say, Mr. Speaker, that even though Councillor particular youth upliftment, because it was one of his brainchild when we came into office, he said, Mayor, you need to put together a meaningful youth program within the municipality. I must also give credit to him, and I'm hoping that you will continue to assist us in ensuring as well that the youth that we do recruit, indeed that those that are in need and that will complete the 12-month program. This is learnerships that do have a stipend for these young people, and for us as a council and as a municipality is to ensure that we recruit Midvaal students or Midvaal young people. Mr. Speaker, why I'm paying special emphasis on this is one of the requirements of the application is that these young people must reside in Midvaal and they must be able to provide a proof of address. Now, most of the time, Mr. Speaker, we are finding that councillors just issue proof of addresses without verifying that indeed this particular person resides in that area they say they reside. So I'm urging all the councillors through you, Mr. Speaker, to please ensure that when you do issue out proof of addresses, that indeed it is of people that reside in Midvaal. These opportunities should be for Midvaal youth. So we need to work together as a council to verify and ensure that that particular person indeed does reside within our jurisdiction. Mr. Speaker, Midvaal is a municipality at work, dedicated to delivering excellent services to all of our communities, from critical infrastructure upgrades and water safety investments to youth empowerment, sport development, and community outreach. Midvaal continues to demonstrate what it means to be a responsive, innovative, and caring municipality. A former president said, continuing struggle for a better life demands that we marshal all our resources and direct them towards the achievement of the common good. I close quote. Let us remain focused, united, and determined to building a better Midvaal for all of our people. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. Mr. Malala. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that because of the order of our agenda today, it's necessary for us to change that order to accommodate the program we have. So I'm going to ask you to all turn to item 9A27 of your agendas, which is the last item of the mayor minutes. I'm also going to ask Ms. Pinto if she would recuse herself from the meeting while we deal with this. Could you we'll call you back in shortly. Ms. Chabalala, would you read the heading, please?
Item C3606, request for approval of the appointment of the chairperson of the Audit, Performance, Integrity and Risk Management Committee.
MMC Motsumai, would you introduce the item?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, on item 9827, with us we now have the chairperson of the Audit Committee that will be coming to do the presentation on behalf of the Audit Committee. Thank you, Speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll recall that the Audit Committee elects their own chairperson. Our task is merely to approve that election. So the lady in question was elected by the Audit Committee as their chairperson, and I'm now asking if we can approve that appointment, that election of her as chairperson. Did anybody want to address the item? Are we in agreement? Thank you very much. Would you call Ms. Pinto back in, please? Ms. Chabalala?
Item C3603, report of the chairperson of the Audit Performance Integrity and Risk Management Committee, Quarter 3, 1 January 2025 to 31 March 2025. Speakers for this item is from the EFF.
Before the EFF has a chance, I'm going to ask our new audit chairperson to give a report. Ms. Please come forward and give us the benefit of your newly acquired position and what you've discovered so far, and present us with your report, please. Can we give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you, the Executive Mayor, the Speaker of Council, members of the Mayoral Committee and councillors, municipal managers and HOD, and all the public present. Khomotso le manamane ya tsona. Dumelang. I'd like to present to the council the audit, the quarterly report on the Audit and Risk Committee. This is a legislative report that we do on a quarterly basis to council. I'm assuming the report is read, Mr. Speaker. The introduction of the committee talks to the legislative background that gives us mandate to the existence of the committee. As a standing agenda item on our agenda is the service delivery matters that we discuss with the municipal manager, whereby we engage on issues of service delivery. But for the purpose of this meeting, we didn't have that item because prior to the meeting, we had an in-committee meeting with the new municipal manager, whereby we met with him just to get a sense of where he's at. So for the purpose of that meeting, we did not discuss the item. However, it is always there. We do discuss service delivery matters. And then the third item is internal audit. With internal audit, as Mr. Speaker, you would know that we are now transitioning from a fully in-source to a co-source, whereby now after our CAE has left us, we then went back to a co-source exercise. And at the time we met, the service provider for the internal audit has not yet been appointed. However, on the date of this report, when I was signing, the company had been appointed and had liberty to meet with the CAE. So we are on course in terms of now proceeding with the internal audit. However, it must be noted that there might be certain delays due to the restructuring pertaining to our audit plan. However, I have been given confidence by the new CAE that it will be properly managed. And then also in the internal audit, there were challenges that we used to have with management about the response to the internal audit findings. It's something that was a teething issue for us as an audit committee. However, I'd like to report to council that there has been drastic improvement from management in terms of dealing with the findings of internal audit to the full satisfaction of the committee. The supply chain report was presented, even though it was done by the previous service provider for internal audit. We didn't dwell much on it because there's recently been a new appointment of the head of SCM. So we decided that to just give them liberty to familiarize themselves with the environment, and then we'll engage with it in the next meeting. And then your normal legislative report is 21 and Section 52 reports. There was nothing of concern from the committee as they were presented for noting. The OPCA status quo at the time of the meeting, we are at 81%, and we are confident that by the time the financial year ends, we will be in a good position to deal with all the OPCA findings. And then from the risk point of view, we had Provincial Treasury also that part of the meeting. One of the things that they brought to our attention was the new internal audit standards, which were active from January 2025. And we have given a task to the CAE in the next meeting to present the action plan in terms of how to roll out their compliance with internal audit standards. And then pertaining to risk management, there's not really much of concern from the committee, as well as the risk maturity. And that's basically that from us, Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to just ask you to remain where you are in case there are any questions. I know the EFF did list themselves as wanting to talk on this item. Councillor Slaughter.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Let me welcome the new chairperson who was presenting to us now. I just want to ask a question, Speaker, because this thing is affecting us from the MPEC, but I think it's something that because some of the work we are dealing with the reports that comes from the internal audit that sometimes there. With regard to the issue of the consequence management, now we have a problem with regard of managing those consequences and then getting those reports as to what happened to the recommendations which we recommended in this house, and then this house endorsed those recommendations, like your bulldozer issue there. Now, my question is now, are you also, is this institution, this structure, are you also affected by the issues of the consequence management? Because if you talk about the internal audit committee, I think we are dealing with the report from the very same people. In fact, our findings are informed by the report from there. Now, are you also affected by this is the question to the presenter speaker, are you also affected in terms of this consequence management? Because it's a huge problem in the MPEC here. And then to an extent that it's like we are giving reports and we are coming with findings, and the council also endorse our recommendations, but nothing is happening, Speaker. We don't know what happens. And there are much of these UIFs that are coming now. I think so. What are we going to do with them? So that is the question, basically speaking.
Thank you, Councillor.
The consequence management issue.
Yes, thank you. Would you like to answer, Ms. Pinto?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Ndate, for the question. Part of consequence management, yes, it is part of internal audit committee. So we have a financial disciplinary board, whereby as the chairperson of the audit committee, I am part of that financial disciplinary board. However, I must report that there has been a backlog in terms of delays pertaining to dealing with such cases. The support, the administrative support that we're getting from the municipality, they're actually now dealing with that backlog. I think now we've dealt with it twice already. So there has been that, that frustration has been actually communicated to us to prioritize these cases of consequence management. So we have said twice, we are going to be sitting again next week. So we are trying to push by the end of August, when we submit the financial statement, that there should be at least some recognizable progress made on dealing with the cases of UIFW. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Executive Mayor.
Mr. Speaker, just to add on to what Mrs. Pino has just said to your question, the MM was just telling me that yes, indeed, there is a backlog that they are dealing with on those particular matters, and corporate services is putting together a report which will then provide feedback on those particular matters to council. So yes, there is a backlog, and corporate services will put a report to one that can serve here in council with the status. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Councillor Slocum, may I just ask you, if you don't see a change in the things, please just report to me and I'll then follow up myself as well. Thank you. Ms. Jabalala? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, can we then accept this item? Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Puntu, and much obliged to you.
She'd like to leave.
You're more than welcome to leave if that's what you wish to do. Thank you for your presence. Bye-bye. We are in agreement then, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much. Ms. Jabalala, can we then continue to item number 1 on the list? Thank you.
Yes. Items of the Speaker, there are none. Items of the Section 79 committees. Item C3580, renaming of Section 79 Gender Committee to Section 79 GOD Committee, and establishment of Multi-Party Women's Caucus Subcommittee of Section 79 GOD Committee. Speakers for this item is from the EFF.
Councillor Slocum.
Yeah, thanks that once more again, Speaker. Speaker, we welcome this GOD issue here. But there are issues that we want us to look at. I don't know whether can I put it in a form of a question or what. Now, if we talk about GOD, we're all aware of that. It also includes youth and people with disabilities. Now, in terms of this women caucus, what do we call it? Women caucus. Now, is it going to include the very same people here? because it's no more about women only now. That's the issue that we have picked up, Speaker. And secondly, the question is that, Speaker, now, does it align with the district one? Fortunately, we have Alderman Mudikeng here. Does it align with the CDB one? Does the CDB one also changed to GOD? And if it didn't change, and then how is it going to liaise or to interact, Speaker, with regard to that? And if that is the case, Speaker, we have the youth and the people with disabilities. I think there are somewhere where the terms of reference should be amended. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. MMC.
Thank you very much, Speaker. If you don't mind, I'd like to take the questions since they are directed
Certainly,
to the
certainly.
Gender Committee. So this item, Councillor, is referring to simply changing the name of the committee. With the Speaker and as agreed as councillors that we need a stake where there's a point of call that deals with gender, youth and disabilities as well. So we've decided to actually bunch those as GOD and have that as a Section 79 committee. So in other municipalities as well, it's the norm. They've changed the gender committee to GOD, so it's nothing untoward that we are starting as Midvaal. In fact, we are just catching up to other local authorities to rename it GOD. Even when you look at the Department of COGTA, it's called GOD as one gender, youth, and people with disabilities. That's one. And the second question, Councillor, relating to the multi-party women's caucus. So SALGA has established a multi-party women's caucus, and they've encouraged that all local municipalities to establish one within each municipality. So you're correct in saying that even at the district level, we do have a multi-party women's caucus. Mfuleni, Midvaal, and other local authorities. So how this one works is that in contrast to the Section 79 GOD committee, it comprises of all councillors, all female councillors. So if there are issues that, we can all relate to, regardless of political affiliation, that is common ground and has got to do with issues of gender, then as a collective, as councillors, we are able to tackle those issues together. So things like gender-based violence, these are things that affect us all as councillors. They are not specific to any political party. It's things that as councillors, we want to change. So those are common grounds where we work together as a council all together to transform and change those things. So this item just speaks to formalizing it. We had the commissioner from province, Councillor Eunice Mgina, who oversaw the entire meeting, and we had most of our councillors here in Midvaal who were in attendance, and they unanimously voted me to be the chairperson of the Multi-Party Women's Caucus, representing Midvaal in Sidibeng and when we are at province at the Salga. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mulliken. Councillor Lesloka, your time is getting shorter.
We are very passionate with this one also, Speaker. Speaker, I think we know that at the provincial level we have GOD. And at the provincial level, I am not saying that I am raising this issue because I am a disabled councillor. No, I am raising this issue, Speaker, because we are also interacting with the GOD at provincial level with our sector as a disability sector. And they also deal with the issues of disability. And they also deal with the issues of youth. I don't have a problem of having this GOD, but let's not have the name for the sake of the name. Because if you have the name for the sake of the name and you are not going to deal with the issues of disability, with the issues of youth, it is a rubber stamping, maybe something like that, Speaker. And that's why I'm taking a little bit long on this issue, Speaker. Issues of disability, we are very passionate on them, Speaker. Because what we know in the disability sector is nothing about us without us. You cannot plan about me and take decisions about me without someone who is representing me, who is also disabled, also that particular person. So I think, Speaker, I am not against this GOD. We can adopt it, yes, it's fine, but let's look as to, is it a name for the sake of the name? Or is it a name just to say, no, the disability is also included there? For us, Speaker, as EFF, we, if it will not work like that, Speaker, we are not going to support this. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. I'm hoping what we're deciding today will change what has happened up to now and that we will move in that direction. So I share your concerns there. Thank you, Councillor. Can we pass the item, ladies? Oh, sorry.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Councillor, I really welcome that because you're absolutely right. You can't make decisions on a sector without involving them. And I think that's very profound, which is why I will ask to sincerely work together with youth, with people with disabilities, and with gender-related issues. It was important for us to define it as GOD because that sector is lacking. The municipality needs to do a lot more in that sector. And so now that we formalize it, you will start seeing that we will be doing more and reporting more. I'm sure you will be getting a report from me as well as to what activities are happening within the mayor's office, Speaker's office, what other activities that I've initiated that we are doing that will be dealing with those sectors. So thank you very much. I hope you'll agree to the item. EFF wasn't represented on the day. You really missed out. But moving forward, I hope we can work together to really build that profile of GOD. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Can we then pass the item, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much. Ms. Chabalala?
Items of the Mayoral Committee, non-delegated matters. Item C3581, Report on Municipal Amendment Regulations on Minimum Competency Levels of 2018 in terms of the Government Gazette Notice R493, Progress Report April 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we in agreement? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please proceed.
Item C3582, Report on Municipal Amendment 2018 in terms of the Government Gazette Notice R493, Progress Report May 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Can we pass the item? Thank you. Please proceed.
Item C3583, Report on Municipal Amendment Regulations on Minimum Competency Levels of 2018 in terms of the Government Gazette Notice R493, Progress Report June 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
No speakers, I imagine, means we're in consensus. Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Item C3584, KPI 049, Plan for the 4 medium and high risk industries in the Midvaal region, 2025-2026 financial year. Speakers for this item is from the TYM and EFF.
Councillor Yanni.
Thank you very much, Speaker. With this item, Speaker, most the companies in Midvaal, they only serve their commercial viabilities and totally ignore their broader impact on the society or communities in which they are operating in. So I don't know if this engagement should be happening at the lowest or if we can be able to compel these industries to marry the interest of the community in which they are operating in. For example, Samango has been operating there, emitting smoke for a very long time. And the people who are staying right next to Samango can actually be affected by the daily operations of that company. But these companies are doing absolutely nothing. Even when you engage with them in terms of the corporate social responsibility, in terms of the social welfare programs, they do not have any whatsoever, but they are operating within this area. And just the rumor heard that Councillor Mkhomo, Samango, as they are going to reopen, they are going to use that route. That is going to affect our people. So I just want to understand if we as a municipality can compel these companies to say, Henneken, if you are operating next to those people who are staying at Le Prefer, do something for these people as well. I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Desloge?
Yeah, Speaker, with this one, we are going to be short, Speaker. This is a question. Are these companies going to this in a terms of testing people for the diseases? Because I remember there was a time where Samanco did that, because these emissions, they affect the community around us here. Is there something that they are going to do, and in order to ensure that there is a program that the communities might come forward and then being tested whether are they not affected by these emissions? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. MMC, would you, I don't know who's addressing the issue today.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you. One of the companies that actually has given back to the people is called Toulon. I mean, they're forever giving back to the communities. As they receive, they also give back big time. Thank you.
Yes, Mayor. Order, please.
Mr. Speaker, I think the concerns raised by both councillors have nothing to do with the report item. However, I will address them on the concerns that they've raised. Mr. Speaker, indeed, I think when businesses come and reopen, let's take for example, if Samanco had to reopen, there's certain environmental impact studies that get done on whether their operations will negatively impact the immediate community or not. So there is a study that the company has to comply to before they can actually open the doors and operate, to ensure that the communities around them are safe, but also the employees that work for the company are also safe. So that, Mr. Speaker, is something that will automatically happen. I know that in some instances there are complaints. One that comes to mind is Cecil in the Free State, where the community of Zamdela and those areas at times also get negatively affected or impacted by the emissions from those particular companies. So regular studies do get done, but that is a requirement, is a legislative requirement for those particular businesses. The item, what the municipality does annually is we identify your medium to high risk companies within the municipality to ensure that there is compliance, safety compliance, health hazard compliance, etc. And there are some of the companies that are listed here. There's one where there is a follow-up. We basically do tests, we do samples to ensure that they are compliant. We give them notices to say, listen, you are not complying environmentally. If they do not comply within a specific timeline, we report it, we escalate it, where we get, for example, the Green Scorpions involved to say that you need to take, the further steps against that particular company. Now, Mr. Speaker, normally this is over and above the other operations we do. So we've identified 4 that are quite, for us, a medium to high risk at this stage. But that's outside of our own inspections that we do regularly with other companies, testing of oil, fish oil at chips, for example, at takeaway businesses within the town. They'll test the oil, whether that is compliant, health, etc. That's outside of this particular one. This is linked to a budget, but it's also linked to the key performance or rather performance management system of the municipality. So this is something that we do track that is compliant. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope it answers their question.
Thank you, Executive Mayor.
Can we have a follow-up, Speaker?
Councillor Yoni.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor, for a comprehensive answer. But what I want to understand, Mayor, is in terms of the corporate social responsibility, as Councillor Lehloka has spoken, that if these companies are operating within our areas, of course, we are directly affected by maybe the emission of smoke and so on and so forth. What I want to understand is that, is it possible for us as the municipality to compel people to say, if you're going to operate here, there's no way you're going to operate here and emit smoke but not build a clinic for the nearby community? Is there something like that we can do?
May, if you wish to, although the question is not actually relevant to the item.
Look, like I said, Speaker, yes, it's not relevant to the item, but I will respond to him. Speaker, I think it is a separate conversation. Most of the businesses I've engaged with are always willing to give back to the community, Councillor Kwena. What we are trying to improve as an institution, to exactly your concern as well as Councillor Lehloka's concern, we are trying to improve our local economic development department. And we had, the mayoral committee will tell you, this whole week we've had intense deliberations on the LED section, because the LED section is supposed to be dealing with exactly that, what you are talking about, Councillor, where engagements with the local businesses to say that this is your community, what is your social corporate responsibility of that immediate community of Midvaal. Most of the time, what I have found with the businesses that I've engaged with is that nobody approaches them. So they don't know where to go and where to invest. It does not make sense for me, Mr. Speaker, that big companies, for example, I'll use Afrimat, who will perhaps look at maybe a corporate social responsibility opposed to Inscelo, for example. But if they are not approached by the municipality and by the leadership to say that there is a need, this is what we would like you to get involved in as a business, they will not know. So we are trying to bridge that gap, Mr. Speaker, by ensuring that our local economic development office engages with those businesses and becomes the voice of those people to the businesses. I must just say, if this will give you comfort, Councillor Kwena, the businesses have said yes, we want to get involved, but they did not know what the need of the community is. And I think this is what we must close on. And I want to just say, Mr. Speaker, this goes back to what I had said earlier in the year about councillors also being active in their communities and being also the voice of the residents. It can't be that a business or a project will happen in a specific area and the councillor is not involved in terms of ensuring that the community that he or she serves does benefit out of whatever business coming in. So I think that this is something that the MMC Tembi will drive, Councillor Kwena, Councillor Lehloka, but the entire council, to perhaps have a workshop with you and show you what the strategy is going forward in terms of addressing exactly that, especially now because Midvaal is growing. It's a growing municipality. We're seeing more investment coming in. And you are right, at South 32, the new owners that will be coming in, it's important that we already start planning conversations around exactly that. It's important that we also start having conversations with Ingrain as well. It's important that we have the same conversations with Soufflet and all of the businesses within the municipality to say, put Midvaal first, whether it's an employment opportunity or whatever opportunity that may arise within that sector. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, can we pass the item? Thank you. Ms. Chabalala.
Item C3585, request for developers rebate and rates policy, Pelican. There are no speakers for this item.
May we pass the item? Thank you.
Item C3586, request for developers rebates in terms of the property rates policy, Riverstone Mall. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we agreeing on the item? Thank you. Please proceed.
Item C3587, Gauteng Provincial Treasury Circular Number 1 of 2024-2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we noting the item? Thank you.
Item C3588, Draft Electricity Supply Bylaw. Speakers for this item is from the ANC and TYM.
Let's start with the ANC this time. Councillor Sitoli.
No, Speaker, mine is very short. I think MMC must take us for a workshop on this draft bylaws so that we understand we are able to interpret it to community out there.
Thank you, Councillor.
No, thank you, Speaker. I've read the report. It's a detailed and comprehensive one. But what I want to understand, I think in the previous asked the question to say, this one is more on the bylaws, but I'm more interested in the procurement part as to once this has been completed, the preliminary studies and everything. What I want to understand is the companies that are going to supply electricity, who are those people? That is what I want to understand. And Councillor Mukete has promised to give an answer today. Thank you.
Councillor Motsamai, you're being put on the carpet.
No, he promised last time in the previous council.
Councillor Howard, MMC.
Thank you, Speaker. So thank you for that. So we will definitely put together a workshop for the councillors. And then on the IPP, the generation side, who's those people, we're not at that stage yet. We're only at draft stage yet. So can we finish the draft, concentrate on the draft, and I promise next time we'll get to the IPPs and we'll say, thanks, me.
Thank you, MMC. Can we pass the item, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much, Ms. Jawala.
Item C3589, Energy Efficiency Demand Side Management Project Retrofitting or Conventional to LED Streetlights. Speakers for this item is from the TYM and Freedom Front Plus.
Let's go with the Freedom Front Plus. Alderman Papers.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Just a question again. What made the council go for the LED globes instead of the solar panel street lights? Thank you.
Councillor Yanni.
I withdraw.
MMC Howard.
Thank you, Speaker. So, through you, Speaker, yes, Alderman Papers, as you can see on Mayor Street, it's not our preferred product, but this is a new grant we've applied for. The municipality have never received this grant. So, push for solar. I mean, that's where we're moving. We want to do non-revenue lights, solar lights, but unfortunately this grant was initially for meters, for electrical meters, but we said no, that would not assist our municipality, and then they changed it slightly to LED. So that's what they can give us, and that's what we'll take at this stage. So the whole initiative is to see the load reduction because of the LED lights. As you can see, they're moving it from 250 watt to 150, and then also this contractor will do all the reporting they stated as part of the recommendations under that. So yeah, unfortunately we did try to push them in a corner, but they stopped at LED.
Yes, Alderman.
Speaker, is the solar going to be stopped forever now, or are we going to look into that again? And or is it the 4 million that they give us to buy globes? We'll pay that again. And the other thing is, we must remember load shedding is going to come again. We mustn't dream about this. And if you got the globes in here, this whole town is going to be dark, dark, dark. And it's not the right way to go. We must get light if there's no lights. Speaker.
MMC.
Thank you, Speaker. So, yes, again, I don't want to, I can answer Alderman Papers, but it sounds like we must give the 4 million back while he's talking. I don't want to give it back. Like I said, we'll take at this stage what we got. The LEDs is proven to last longer than the necessary, or the current bulbs we're using. No, Alderman Papers, obviously, as I stated earlier, the non-revenue lights, we don't want to pay Eskom for non-revenue lights just to lose business. So that will continue. The municipality has put budget aside, so solar street lights will continue until we're done.
Another go.
Because just one last thing. Isn't there a possibility that we can just put throughout Midvaal a few solars that it's not if load shedding comes that there's no lights. Just here and there, one or two in the street. Because this is when they steal the cables, then is when they break in, and this is what we don't want. So can we look into that? Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman. Yes, Executive Mayor.
Alderman Papers' input. Look, I think that is the ideal situation, Alderman Papers. Your request does require a budget, you know, because we would have to obviously do a conversion on the conventional street lights already. So solar does come with panels, and I must just inform Council that in the last 2 months, we've had 15 of our cameras, CCTV, solar-powered cameras, have been vandalized, where panels have been stolen, solar panels and batteries that have been stolen. So that is the disadvantage, Alderman Papers, with solar lights. Yes, they are good. It's something that we want, especially if indeed load shedding will make a return. But there is a substantial amount or budget that needs to support that. We have done a section of Mayor Street, which is solar, and that is a project, Papers. So if that proves to work, and we see that it is viable, and sustainable, and it lasts, and you know, it is not vandalized, then it is something that we can come back with and see if we can invest or put a budget behind it to start off with the street lights. The high-mast lights, Alderman Papers, that we do install around Midvaal, we've been installing in different areas, Henley on Klip, Walkerville, various other areas. There are those that are powered by solar, including the Stelo ones. The only thing, Alderman Papers, we would have to do, and which is quite expensive, is to obviously make the pole very high so that people do not have easy access to the panel and the battery, and which costs more money. So unfortunately, Alderman Papers, there is a negative to it, but I think it is something that we can look at. Let us see if these ones on Mayor Street hold out, and without any issues, and then we will take it through Midvaal and see. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. It's enough. I doubt it very much, Alderman. Ladies and gentlemen, can we pass the item, please? Thank you very much. Mr. Olala.
Item C3590, request for the approval of the fixed term of Midvaal call center agent contracts. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we in consensus? Thank you very much. Mr. Olala.
Item C3591, extension of the Gauteng Divisional Conditions of Service Collective Agreement 1 July 2019 to 30 June 2024. Speakers for this item is from the Freedom Front Plus.
I start with Councillor Brits.
Thanks, Speaker. Speaker, I went through this item, and it looks like our people in the municipality is well looking after. I just want to ask, why is there so many vehicles broken down in our workshops? What is happening there? Can somebody explain to me? Because I want to let the people know they must look after our vehicles. We can't replace them every now and then. The vehicles is very expensive to replace, and to if they broke down, to replace them with the parts and everything. It costs us a lot of money. If somebody can just tell me, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, it is a concern. Remember that we're sitting with a lot of aged fleet as well. And Mr. Speaker, the mechanical workshop, I think also in my observation, In terms of the staff complement, we may not have enough of the mechanics to deal with the backlog or the amount of broken down vehicles that we get on a daily basis. So some of the vehicles, some of the fleet that the councillor may have seen is fleet that we cannot fix internally, that must be sent out to different service providers. There are also fleet that are still under warranty that must go to, for example, to Toyota or Isuzu, etc., that still need to be collected. Hence, you will see that there is some fleet that is parked there. To the councillor's comment, Mr. Speaker, around whether there's negligence, because I think that's what the councillor was also pointing out to, that perhaps the operators of the vehicles may be intentionally causing damage to the vehicles. That is something, councillor, we must investigate. I also, in fact, raised this early in this week. We must also start looking at the driver or operator behavior to those particular vehicles. And if a vehicle breaks down, Mr. Speaker, perhaps it's about time that the municipality asks for a full report from that operator to say what happened. And that particular report can be filed and can be set aside. And the next time if it breaks again, we can pull out and say, but you continue to break these vehicles, etc. So, Mr. Speaker, it is a big concern of mine. I can't confirm at this stage whether it is negligence from the operators or the drivers, but it is definitely something that we are looking at, Councillor. So if you do see vehicles at the mechanical workshop or at the depot, some are waiting to go to the, what you call it, the dealerships, because they're still under warranty and only they can fix the problem. And then there's also those that we do in-house, which in most cases are older vehicles that are, at times are a bit problematic. But I think we're also looking into that, Councillor. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Can we then pass the item, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Mr. Braga.
Item C3592, Midvaal Local Municipality Prevention and Elimination of Harassment in the Workplace Policy. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we in agreement? Thank you. Please proceed.
Item C3593, Confirmation and Submission of Municipal for submission to Gauteng Provincial Government. There are no speakers for this item.
Do we agree? Thank you.
Item C3594, Report on Deviations from the Supply Chain Management Policy as required by the Municipal Supply Chain Management Regulations, month of June 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we in agreement? Good, thank you.
Item C3595, Report of the implementation of the Supply Chain Management Policy for the 2024-2025 financial year, 1 July 2024 to 30 June 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Can we pass the item? Thank you.
Item C3596, Report of the implementation of the Supply Chain Management Policy for the fourth quarter of the 2024-2025 financial year, 1 April 2025 to 30 June 2025. Speakers for this item is from the EFF.
Councillor Slaughter, you have 1.5 minutes left.
Don't start that long. Speaker, I just need clarity. We just need clarity here, Speaker, because we see here that this report, at times it says the officials are invited on an ad hoc basis. But when I look at the names of the people who sit on the bid specification committee, those people, to me, they are officials. So I just want to know which officials are being invited on an ad hoc basis. Just a clarity there.
Thank you, Councillor. Can you address the issue, please, ma'am?
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, yes, the members of each of the individual committees are set. They sit every single meeting. But if it is of a technical nature, the tender that is, whether it's the specs or the tender or whatever, we may invite specialists like an engineer or whatever from that lead department to be able to fill in on questions that the various committees may ask.
Thank you, ma'am. The item, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Ms. Chabalala.
Item C 3597, report on financial results for the month of June 2025 as required by section 71 and 52D of the Municipal Finance Management Act. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we in agreement? Thank you.
Item C 3598, report on withdrawals in terms of section 114A of the MFMA 1 April 2025 to 30 June 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Do we agree? Thank you. Please proceed.
Item C 3599, report on cost containment measures applied by the municipality and the cost savings on the implementation of the cost containment measures in terms of the Municipal Cost Containment Regulations 2019 for the fourth quarter 1 April 2025 to 30 June 2025 of 2024-2025 financial year. Speakers for this item is from the Freedom Front Plus.
I have it marked down for Council Alderman Papers. Are you going to take the question?
No, Speaker, I don't know what was the question of Alderman Papers.
Not a problem. Thank you. Can we then pass the item, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. Please proceed.
The following item has been withdrawn. Item C 3600, report on the lease agreement on ARF 915 Val Marina with the Val Marina Property Owners Waterfront Association.
That item has been withdrawn, ladies and gentlemen. It will be brought back at a later stage. Councillor, it's been withdrawn.
I just wanted to check, Speaker, because this is the second time this item has been referred back. What is the reason? Every time, this is the second time this item has been referred back.
Sure. Would you want to address it? Jeremiah?
Mr. Speaker, yes, this item, unfortunately, Councillor, is very complex. And there are a lot of issues surrounding this particular lease agreement that there's information that is outstanding, investigations that we still need to make before we can bring it to Council for consideration. So historical matters dating back from 1970, some of us were not born yet at that time. So there are certain agreements, certain comments that we must get from various other spheres of government, like your Rainwater, who's not submitted comments. So we couldn't get comments out of Rainwater. We couldn't get comments out of DWS, Department of Water and Sanitation. They just said refer it to the municipality, which is not the comments that we are looking for. Because in our books, they have a interest on the property and they've not commented on the property. So not as council take a decision on whether we are going to put this lease agreement on tender to the market or we are going to extend the lease agreement. We don't even know if the lease itself was for VM Power, Val Marina, that owners association, or the Waterfront Association. So it's a very complex report, and we felt as mayoral committee that it is not enough information for us to present to council and make an information. So, Mr. Speaker, on this particular item, mayoral committee resolved that we will refer the item back for further investigation, and it may require, keeping in mind that the lease agreement expires in November 2025. So there may be a requirement that we extend the lease for maybe either 6 months or 1 year while we still investigate this particular matter, because there is also title deeds of people who have right to access into the property. And I know what Councillor but, Mr. Speaker, it is important that we ensure that we get this one right and we do not open the council to scrutiny, Mr. Speaker. So hence the item is then therefore withdrawn. We will bring an item back and advise whether if we can get enough of the information timelessly, we can still bring the report back before it actually expires and advise council whether we go out on the market or not. It is very complex, Councillor Sithole, to an extent that part of the property people own, you go through someone's property and go to another property. So it's not as easy as it looks on book. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Mr. Chabalala?
Item C 3601, SCM Policy Financial Year 2025-2026 to 2027-2028, as required by Section 24(1) of the MFMA. Page 428 and 472 were replaced. There are no speakers for this item.
Have you all received the replacement page, ladies and gentlemen? Just before are we in agreement? Do you need time to look? Does anybody want time? You're right. So we're in agreement? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Chabalala?
Item C 3602, registration of existing alternative energy or electricity generation installations. Speakers for this item is from the TYM.
Councillor Uyani?
No, Speaker, the item that brought me to council has been withdrawn, so I.
Remember that for next time. Yes, thank you. Ms. Chabalala? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, can we then pass the item? Thank you.
Item C 3604, request for reappointment of member of the Audit Performance Integrity and Risk Management Committee. There are no speakers for this item.
We did do the item earlier when
No speakers. This one is for the member.
my apologies. Can we pass the item, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much. Please proceed, Mr. Chabalala.
Item C 3605, minutes of the Audit Performance Integrity and Risk Management Committee meetings 15 May 2025 and special meeting 2 June 2025. There are no speakers for this item.
Are we in agreement? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The following item was circulated separately. Item C 3607, approval of the annual performance agreements in terms of Section 57(2) of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, Act 32 of 2000 for the period 1 July 2025 to 30 June 2026.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to allow you just a few moments to have a look at what's in front of you, and then I'll ask MC Motsamai to address the issue so that you know what he's talking about before he does. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, are you done? Do you need more time? No requests, then I'm going to ask MMC Motsamai if you would kindly address the item.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, this is the item. I'm sure councillors would recall that it served as part of the budget in the council that took place on the 29th of May as part of the final budget. So the draft item was included there, but not in the current format. So what we are now bringing, and it's a compliance item, is the final item where we are requesting council to give approve. And in terms of legislation, we are required to approve the item, Speaker, within 30 days or within a calendar month of the financial year. So the month of the new financial year. Speaker, I must just maybe indicate to councillors that since the draft item went to council on the 29th of May, there's been quite a lot of deliberations to come to where we are today. So the item that we're looking at, and the reason it's serving now and as a tabled item with some annexures that came in late, is because of the lengthy discussions and deliberations that we had to undergo to get to the point where we can produce an item that we can say is credible and we are confident on. So, Speaker, we are submitting for approval. Thank you so much.
Are there any people who wish to ask questions? Yes, certainly, Executive Mayor. Let me just take the question from Councillor Slaughter.
Yeah, Speaker, we understand this is for the sake of compliance. Yeah, we can see that. Now, will we be right if we can say that we are far behind with this? We should have done it before. Why? Can you please substantiate that, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please do, Executive Mayor.
Mr. Speaker, the report is not late. It is on time. What is late is the document to you, and hence we are explaining. So in terms of compliance, we are within time. We have until today to submit the report before the end of July. So what the MMC is indicating is to why the report has arrived late to yourself as members of council. So, Mr. Speaker, it's important to say, without repeating what MMC Mtsamai said, as a result of why it is late, the council will remember that I was on leave for exams, and I had a lot to say around the service delivery budget implementation plan, because there were certain key performance indicators, Councillor Hloko, that I felt were a little bit of soft targets for the municipal officials. So what the MM and team did, they said because the mayor is on study leave, let's wait for him to come back so that he can have his input on the key performance indicators and the way they are crafted. So this is why the information did come a little bit late, because we had deliberations since the beginning of the week. We have been busy crafting these key performance indicators. There were times when we did not find each other with the administration on the matrix of the key performance indicators, etc., because I felt that some of the items were too soft and we needed to tighten up a bit on those particular items. Now, Mr. Speaker, it's very, very important that when we bring items to council, they must be credible, they must have integrity, and we must ensure that when we approve such an item, speaks, and it is not just a mere compliance report. So this is why it did come late. Even till this morning, there was information that was still coming in to ensure that the document is a full, credible document. And Mr. Speaker, I can confirm to council that it is indeed a credible document, and it is a working document. It is one that speaks to the needs of the people of Midvaal. So to answer the question directly to the council, it's not late. It is still time, yes. The only problem was that it arrived late to the councillors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Are there any other comments? I'll just let Councillor Hloko one last chance.
Yeah, Speaker, I do understand what the mayor says, but now when he mentions the KPAs and the KPIs now, I don't know which KPAs and the KPIs is he talking about, because My understanding is that now we have already done with the KPAs and the key performance indicators, you know, but now when you say you were not there, Mayor, and they have done it, the officials, and then you had to come and give the inputs, are you talking to the ones that we had before or now recently?
Executive Mayor. Is there anybody
Speaker,
else? Sorry.
it's part of the, it's the same document. This is the performance agreements, Councillor Shoka. Yes, which is part of that document. So hence I was saying to you, yes. So hence I was saying to you that for me, I had my reservations on it, and the management had to come and give my input because I felt that within the performance agreements of the MM, we must hold him more accountable, to put it that way. Maybe he doesn't like me saying that, but hence they had to wait for me, is to make sure that we do that, Councillor Lishoka. I hope you understand. Thank you.
Alderman Papers.
Speaker, just, who's the committee evaluating these people? Yeah, that's my question. Thanks, Speaker.
Speaker?
Executive Mayor, yes, please.
Speaker, the performance, the annual performance evaluation of the MM is done by myself as the chairperson of the Internal Audit Committee, a mayor of another municipality, as well as an MM from another municipality, as well as a ward committee member that we must have. Unfortunately, we couldn't have a ward committee member this time around. But we are the panel that sits and does the evaluations of the MM. So, Mr. Speaker, in this last evaluations of the MM, we had Mayor Chris Papas, who comes from the Umgeni municipality in KwaZulu-Natal, who sat on the municipal manager's performance evaluations. The municipal manager does the performance evaluations of the HODs together with the relevant MMC. So they sit on that particular panel and does the evaluations of those officials. I must just say I know Councillor or Alderman Papers is very passionate about the consequence management or the accountability part. Every official of this municipality is now evaluated, Alderman Papers. So every official from your general worker right to the top. There are different structures that do evaluations of different officials, and it is legislated. It's not that Midvaal is doing it because we are super or anything. It is legislated, it is by law that we must do evaluations for everybody. So I hope that covers your question. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Can we then pass the item? Thank you very much. Ms. Chabalala.
Items of the Mayoral Committee delegated matters to be noted. Official notices of the Executive Mayor.
Anything further, Executive Mayor?
Mr. Speaker, I think I've said a mouthful. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Ms. Chabalala.
Next item, new motions. There are none. Last item, closure.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance and for your devotion to this cause. We remain a good municipality. We remain one of the best municipalities thanks to you all, thanks to the questions you ask and the pressure you put on us. We all play our part in this, so I thank you all for everything you do for us, and I wish you well. See you next time. God bless. Take care.